Hello and welcome everyone. My name is Chiranjit Mishra and today I'm going to present the news today items of March 17th. There are 3 main news and 8 quick updates. The place in the news today is Afghanistan. So let's quickly go through the news headlines and then we'll discuss the news items. The first main news is about a Parliamentary Standing Committee report on IndiaAI mission. So how efficiently the funds have been used, the report is on that, and there are also certain suggestions. The second main news is about India's first submission as per related to Nagoya report, as per India's own set of rules and regulations related to how to use in a fair manner the biodiversity related resources. The third news is about CARA, which deals with adoption of children, whether it's inter-country or intra-country, and it has issued new directions. So these are the 3 main news. Now quick updates. The first is about international maritime law, and the context is, as we all know, the sinking of an Iranian ship by the United States. So we'll try to explore the various laws which govern international maritime security. The second news is about tribal arts. The third news is about discovery of species in Megamalai Wildlife Sanctuary, which is part of the Western Ghats and situated in Tamil Nadu. The fourth quick update is about DME technology, which is an alternative fuel for LPG. Because of the ongoing LPG crisis, Indian scientists are exploring other types of fuels which can be as efficient but more clean. So DME is actually your dimethyl ether, again a hydrocarbon, but it can be a good alternative for LPG. But this is just at the research stage. It has not yet been commercialized. Next quick update is about inscriptions found in a temple in Andhra Pradesh, and the inscriptions are related to Gajapati rulers who ruled over Odisha. So that shows, this particular discovery, the link between Odisha and its neighboring state Andhra Pradesh. Next, Sahitya Academy Award, which is an award given to various writers across 24 languages, which includes English and Rajasthani apart from the 22 constitutional languages. Then West Asian War and the summer heat, which may lead to food shortage. It can actually lead to a twin problem related to inflations. So the inflation problem is actually twofold. One because of fuel crisis and the other because of a potential food crisis. So this is something related to prediction about Indian summers. Then Operation Sankalp will go through that, which is again related to this West Asian crisis. So Operation Sankalp is about providing security to Indian vessels traveling through Gulf of Oman, which is part of Arabian Sea. And as I said in the beginning, the place in the news today is Afghanistan. Okay. The first news item, Parliamentary Standing Committee report on IndiaAI mission, and as I have marked, it's a part of paper 3 and 2. Primarily paper 3, because the core issue is IndiaAI mission, which was introduced in 2024. And the aim of the mission still is to make India an AI superpower and to make India absolutely sovereign in the field of AI, starting from development of infrastructure to applications. So we proposed this fine mission called IndiaAI mission in 2024. Okay. So AI and IndiaAI mission, part of GS paper 3. Okay. Now Parliamentary Standing Committee, which is very important. Okay. This part comes under GS paper 2. So this committee actually scrutinized the performance of this mission. Okay. And it said, on paper it looks good. IndiaAI mission, on paper, it looks good. Everything is hunky-dory. But when it comes to execution, it's not good. There are many things that need to be done. Okay. So IndiaAI चाहता क्या है? IndiaAI mission to make India an AI superpower. Okay. As you know that AI stack is actually 5-layered. 5-layer के AI stack होते हैं. Starting from infrastructure, buildings, okay, जिसे हम बोलते हैं, for example, data centers, water supply, because you need cooling systems. There's a lot of processing work taking place and a lot of heat generated. For that, you need steady water supply. Of course, electricity supply before that, internet connection. Okay, these all come under infrastructure. Then the second part is compute. Okay, first is infrastructure, second is compute, which actually includes GPUs, TPUs and all that. Do ho gaya. Third is, here I'm writing third, okay. Third is, let me create. Third is related to models. Models that will be used to train data, which forms your fourth layer. And then 5 applications, okay. These are the 5 layers of India AI stack, and India wants to achieve or attain Atmanirbharta in all the 5 layers, starting from infrastructure to applications, where AI models are going to be used, starting from healthcare, education, okay, language processing, other things, literature. So, but on paper, everything looks good. The parliament said that India is yet to obtain good quality GPUs. As you know, NVIDIA has a market domination when it comes to NVIDIA, this US-based company. And the chips that are in demand are H100 and A100. Please remember the names. They may ask you direct questions in prelims exam also. H110 and A110 are related to GPUs, some vaccines, diseases, or strains of virus, related to types of GPUs, okay? So these are very much in demand. That's why there is this rising demand and not so steady supply. So procuring good quality GPUs is very important when you need to increase your compute power. Compute power is a term related to processing of data or training of data, throughput and everything. So this is called compute power. How much data you can generate, information can you generate, okay, in the context of artificial intelligence. Okay, so procurement is not steady. So that is one of the several problems identified by the Parliamentary Standing Committee, okay. So this is the GS paper 2 part. First is compute power challenge. Second is huge data centers, requirement of space. Again, it's not environmentally sustainable because it requires electricity. And 70% of the electricity in India, 70 to 75%, is coal generated. We don't have enough electricity, quality electricity using renewables for other uses. How can you make sure that there is a steady electricity supply and that too from renewables for data centers? This is one big challenge. Third is water power. Water supply. Okay. ये 3 important challenges हैं. So the second 2 challenges are environment related. First one is economics related. Okay. So let's go through what the report says. Parliamentary panel has flagged underutilization of funds and delays. So this is the main context. The 3 important perennial issues we discussed. The recent finding is underutilization of funds. For example, India AI mission ke liye, the fund was, I think, close to 10,000 crore rupees, which is close to, I would say, $1.1 billion, okay? And that too over a period of 5 years. You can note down the numbers. 10,000 crore for 5 years for India AI mission, 2024 to 29 tak. This much fund was earmarked. That means 2,000 crore rupees every year. Okay, 10,000 divided by 5. But you'll be surprised to know we are able to use close to 32% of 2,000 crore. तो कितना हो गया? Around 640 to 750 crore हमने कुछ use किया है. That means everything looks good on paper, but we are not able to execute. We are supposed to use 2,000 crore in a productive manner, but you used only 650 crore. Okay. So this is underutilization of funds. Now this was for 1 year. 2024 mein the mission was introduced. For 2025-26, the first portion of the entire budget was allocated, but the fund was underutilized. Now, after the presentation of the next budget for fiscal year 2026-27, The parliamentary committee said, we gave you a lot of money, but you could not use it. That's why we're going to cut down the budget. Okay, 50% abhi ho jayega. So maybe instead of giving 2,000 rupees, 2,000 crore rupees, 50% of 2,000 crore is 1,000 crore. Okay, the exact figures may vary, but you just need to know that the budget has been cut. Why? Due to underutilization of funds. So this is the most important financial part of the report. Apart from that, several other problems have been cited and suggestions have been given by this parliamentary committee. So parliamentary panel or parliamentary committee, its role is not just to financially scrutinize the project or financial efficiency of the project. It also gives you a list of suggestions what can be done to tackle several challenges associated with this particular mission. Let's go through quickly. So this is important from the point of view of mains. Okay, if a question is asked about India's progress made in the field of having sovereign AI or indigenous AI, you can cite the problems. 32% of the revised estimate utilized till December 2025. इसका मतलब एक fiscal year का 8 महीने में we used to 32%. Maybe in the remaining 4 months say 16% more. So that is 50%. 32 plus 16 is equal to 48%. Okay, I hope you understood the maths. It's very simple. So budget estimate reduced to half of proposed requirements. Okay, infrastructure bottlenecks as identified by the panel or committee. GPU clusters underway, but challenges remain. High hardware costs. Why? Limited supply, rising demand. D is high, but supply is low. As I said, quality GPUs are difficult to procure. A100 and H100. Okay. Global supply chain delays because of the war and other crises. Environmental impact, high power consumption, high water usage. And that's why the panel has said, please consult environmental experts and energy experts so that we can optimize the use of electricity and water. That is why there is another evolving idea of green data centers. And one such project has been already proposed, several projects, one in Ghaziabad, green data centers, jisme the data centers will be powered using electricity sourced from renewable sources, primarily solar. Okay. So consult environmental experts, develop strategies to reduce ecological impact of sovereign data centers. That's why, in a simple way, you can see AI provides technological solutions to tackle technological problems. But to tackle technological problems, we cannot create environmental problems. Okay? Technological solutions not at the cost of the environment. Okay? Because as you know, India has close to 15% of the total world population, but only 4% of the total world's freshwater sources. Okay? So that is very disproportionate. R&D and inclusivity constraint. This is another challenge. Apart from procuring quality GPUs, environmental challenges, then the third one is R&D and inclusivity constraints. So the problem is that only quality universities and educational institutions have been taken under the wing. They are being allowed to conduct researches related to AI. That means that all the colleges, all the universities and colleges of India, they are not involved. So there is this lack of inclusivity. Okay, inclusivity constraint. Challenges in building sovereign AI models, research funding concentrated in IITs and NITs, that too very few of the NITs, and national laboratories. So limited participation from broader ecosystem. Promote democratization of AI research. This is the suggestion. Please promote democratization of AI research. It should not only be limited to IITs and elite institutions. Okay. So about AI India mission, so this is from the point of view of prelims. It was launched in 2024 and it comes under Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, not Science and Technology. Okay. Implementing agencies for IndiaAI division under MEIT. Okay, and its aim is to democratize computing access, improve data quality, and developing indigenous AI capabilities. Because it was introduced in 2024, no direct question has been asked yet. But I have a question for you. Try to answer this question. This is a self-made question. You can just attempt it. With reference to the development of AI in India, consider the following statements. GPUs or graphical processing units form the backbone of compute power. The aim of IndiaAI mission is to make India a GPU exporting nation by 2035. The mission is implemented by the Ministry of Science and Technology. Let's begin with the third statement. I said the implementing ministry is MeitY. Okay? That means this one is incorrect. Also, the aim of IndiaAI mission is to make India AI sovereign, not to make India a GPU exporting country. And that to this target here. There is no such target here. So 2 and 3 are incorrect. Incorrect, incorrect, incorrect. Only one is correct. This is not related to India. This is related to AI in general. Okay. So you can pause the video if you want to take the question again. A similar question may be asked. You never know. Now the next important news is about India's report submission related to Nagoya protocol, which is related to ABS, access and benefit sharing. Again, this is a part of a famous convention called Convention on Biological Diversity. So biological diversity comprises plants, animals, other genetic materials. Okay. If you want to use any type of plant material or animal material, plant resource or animal resource, whatever benefit you're going to make, monetary benefit, that benefit has to be equally shared with the sources or the particular country from which such benefits have been accessed, resources have been accessed. So there are two parties. One is your commercial enterprise, which is a company, and then the source country. Source country means the country to which the plant material or the genetic material or the animal related resource belongs. Not just plant resources and animal resources, but also traditional knowledge. For example, a particular tribe in India, it's good at using a certain plant resource. So there are two things involved here. The plant material, for example, say Nilkarinji. Nilkarinji is a plant which is found in the Western Ghats. And we don't know, maybe a particular tribe knows how to use its medicinal value. Okay. So that is your knowledge part. You know how to use that plant resource. Okay. एक तो plant हो गया, एक हो गया knowledge. Both these things are protected under Nagoya protocol. That means if a company from the United States wants to use that particular plant resource in a particular fashion, whatever monetary benefits it's going to get, the same has to be shared with the traditional communities. Okay. So this protocol was formed under Convention on Biological Diversity. I hope you remember the year. Again, I'm going to write 1992, in which three famous conventions were signed. One was your United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change. One. Two was United Nations Convention on Combating Desertification. And third was CBD or UNCBD. Under this convention, there are two protocols. One is your Nagoya, which we are discussing now. And India submitted a report in relation to Nagoya protocol, how much it has done in giving permission to access its natural resources, which we'll cover. And the second is your Cartagena. Nagoya is a place in Japan, I guess, and Cartagena, Colombia, if I'm not wrong. Okay. So Nagoya protocol, it takes care of access benefit sharing. Okay. And Cartagena is about biosafety. For example, if you're using living modified organisms, say biotechnologically modified product, it can actually hamper the growth of natural resources. Okay. So to ensure that, we have another protocol, Cartagena. Here we are discussing Nagoya protocol. So three conventions, and under CBD, the third convention, we have two protocols. Okay. So let's move to the next page. to discuss the important points. India submitted its first national report on implementation of Nagoya Protocol. And what has been the focus, progress in access and benefit sharing, contribution to, in relation to target 13 of this national strategy, is India's own strategy as per Nagoya Protocol. I think in COP 15, there was another framework, I think, some Kunming biodiversity framework, KBF. And as per that, India came up with its own national biodiversity strategy and action plan. Okay. So this is as per the target 13 of this strategy that India submitted a report related to access and benefit sharing. Okay. Let's go through Nagoya Protocol. Supplementary agreement under Convention on Biological Diversity discussed. Adopted. CBD was adopted in 1992, but this protocol was adopted in 2014. Okay, much later. Protocol was adopted in 2010 and came into force in 2014. Okay, so it came into force, my bad. 2014 it came into being, it was adopted in 2010. So nearly after 18 years. CBD was adopted in 1992, while Nagoya Protocol was adopted in 2010. But it came into force in 2014. Objectives kya hai protocol ke? To ensure fair and equitable sharing of benefits from genetic resources. Otherwise, what will happen? There's a concept called biopiracy. That means a particular country's traditional knowledge and resources may be misutilized and benefits can be obtained without sharing or giving due credit to the source country. Biopiracy ho jayega. So you need to take permission, and on the basis of certain mutually agreed terms and conditions, you can use a country's resource. That is what Nagoya Protocol focuses on. Support kya karta hai? Biodiversity conservation, sustainable use of biological resources. Okay. The protocol covers kya karta hai? Genetic resources, all sorts of genetic resources, starting from basic DNA or other intracellular material to overall plants, animals, microflora, microfauna, that means microorganisms like bacteria, okay, amoeba, everything, whatever. Anything that is endemic to India and is found in India and has to be used by other countries, they have to give us due credit, monetary benefits and other things. Okay, traditional knowledge associated with the resources, as I said, not just resources but also the knowledge of how to use that particular resource. Everything is protected fairly and equitably based on mutually agreed terms. These two terms, MAT, mutually agreed terms, and prior informed consent. Prior informed consent. If a UPSC question is asked, prelims mein, कि these two terms are related to what? If the option is Nagoya Protocol, go for it. Okay. Because these are official terms. Implementation in India. CBD and the protocols under CBD. They're governed by Biological Diversity Act 2002. So you can say 1992 mein CBD came into being, and in 2002, 10 years after that, India had its own national law, complied with CBD. It has a three-tier structure. One at the national level, National Biodiversity Authority. The second one is at state level, state biodiversity boards. And the third is biodiversity management committees at the district level. Okay. India's contribution, so this is one of the important findings of the report. India has issued nearly 13,000 ABS approvals. That means India has allowed countries on the basis of what they want. 13,000 approvals have been given, and nearly 3,556 or 3,600 internationally recognized certificates. That means these certificates are given at the final stage, only after the acceptance of mutual terms and conditions. Initially, we'll give you permission, okay, you can use our resources. The first stage is permission. Okay. So stage 1 में आप देख सकते हैं, this permission, stage 1 is given to nearly 13,000 approvals have been given. Stage 2 में after you have mutually accepted terms and conditions, you'll be allowed to use it directly. So this is your stage 2. And once this approval is given, the entire world gets to know that India has given approval to this company or that company. Okay. So that's why nobody can question the source of the materials you're going to use to manufacture products. Why? That means if somebody, for example, China is manufacturing using Indian resources and it's exporting worldwide. So no other countries, Japan or European Union region, can ask question China about the origin of the entities used to manufacture the final products. So that because these certificates have international recognition. Okay. Now a UPSC question was asked in 2016, terms sometimes seen in the news and their origin. Annex 1 countries, it's given Cartagena Protocol. Certified emissions reductions, Nagoya Protocol. Clean development mechanisms, Kyoto Protocol. At least you know that option 2 is not correct. Okay. Certified emissions जो होंगे ये नहीं है. Nagoya Protocol is related to biodiversity. So 2 is not correct. Not correct, not correct, not correct. 3 only. Because all the 3 terms are related to Kyoto Protocol. Okay. All the 3 terms, Annex 1 countries, certified emission reductions, and clean development mechanisms. So now Kyoto Protocol has been superseded by Paris Agreement 2005. Okay. It expired in 2020, the second part of Kyoto Protocol. Okay. So second main news is completed. Now the third news about adoption of children. And there is this body which is called, it's a child adoption body. It's called Central Adoption Resource Authority, CARA. Let me first mention the full form. Central Adoption Resource Authority. So this is the authority which oversees adoption of children by parents of Indian origin living here in India or children adopted by foreign couples living abroad. Okay, for example, in a European country or the United States or any other country. Okay, so if they want to adopt an Indian child who has been orphaned, abandoned, or surrendered, okay, such children can be adopted only as per the rules and procedures set by CARA. Okay, and CARA is a statutory body. It is now statutory under Juvenile Justice Act 2015. But let me tell you, it was established in 1990. CARA was established in 1990, but after that Nirbhaya Kand and there was this ongoing judicial process related to how to deal with that criminal was below the age of 18 years. So a comprehensive act came into being, Juvenile Justice Act 2015, and under that act, CARA was made statutory. Although it existed before the act came into being, but it was given statutory status under Juvenile Justice Act. Remember? I mean, I don't think it's very difficult to remember. So, and CARA deals with the adoption procedure of children who have been orphaned, that means whose parents have died, abandoned, whose parents have secretly left them. Surrendered means a legal procedure in which parents can apply to surrender their children, that we cannot look after our children, we are going to disown them. That is also, there are also rules governing that. Either both the parents or one of the existing parents. Okay, and any such child can be put up for adoption. So now CARA has made rules very elaborate when it comes to putting up children for adoption. Because as you know, there is an illegal market also. Many childless couples, they want children, they want to adopt children. And if the procedures are not detailed and there is a lack of transparency, it can turn into an illegal market, which is also already happening. That is why CARA has issued some new guidelines. Let's go through. So first, CARA issues nationwide directions to strengthen adoption procedures. Directions are based on JJ Act 2015 and Amendments and Adoption Regulations 2022. So these regulations have been formed as per JJ Act 2015, Juvenile Justice Act. It ensures child protection and transparent adoption processes. So there is this question of transparency, privacy related to the child. For example, details of the child cannot be disclosed. It cannot be made public. Whoever is going to be transferred to the care of a new set of parents. Key directions include mandatory inquiry before declaring child legally free for adoption. That means any child who is abandoned, a lot of effort has to be made to make sure who his or her biological parents are. Okay. What are his roots? From where he came? Everything has to be made sure. Only after proper confirmation that the particular child is abandoned and his or her parents are no more there, it can be put up for adoption. Efforts to trace biological parents within prescribed time frame. Okay. If everything is like confirmed, then the child may be open for adoption. Open sounds like slightly, a cruel term, but that is what officially we use. All adoption records must be securely preserved so that the entire track record can be referred to in case it is required after, because there is a lot of there is this lengthy legal procedure. Okay, so data maintenance is very important. Absolute prohibition on disclosure of child identity. As I said, privacy matters a lot. Child adoption regulations. What are the rules that govern? The nodal ministry in the case of child adoption to which CARA is affiliated is your Ministry of Women and Child Development. This is the primary act, and there are other sub-acts which can also play a key role in child adoption, which are Hindu Adoption and Maintenance Act 1956, and this is not related to child adoption but child maintenance. For example, if somebody's parents are no more, who is going to take care of that child? Guardians means your near and dear ones. Guardians and Wards Act 1890, which governs non-Hindu guardianship. Okay. So whatever loopholes or gaps are there, they have been compensated for by JJ Act 2015. Okay. This is the primary act. And child adoption regulations, nodal ministry, again I said, is Ministry of Nodal ministry is Ministry of Women and Child Development. JJ Act 2015 is primary law. Hindu adoption law, I think it has been repeated. Okay. So this is as per the Hague Convention, which is a 1993 convention related to child adoption. Okay. Please remember the name of this convention, Hague Convention. Okay. And JJ Act is in compliance with the Hague Convention. Okay. Now the place in the news today is Afghanistan, and this is because of a Pakistani attack on an Afghanistan hospital, which led to, I think, 400 deaths. I'm not sure about the number, and that is not important also, although it's very sad. So Afghanistan is a place in the news, and let's focus on its geographical importance. It is a part of South Asia. Okay, South Asia ka part aata hai because it is one of the SAARC countries also. But it is the key to your West Asia and Middle East. Okay, and it is bordered by India. The border is very short, 106 kilometers long. Okay, and now it's part of Gilgit-Baltistan, part of POK. Okay, then it shares border with Pakistan, China here, as you can see, Tajikistan, Uzbekistan, Turkmenistan, and Iran. 7 countries. Okay, major rivers are Amu Darya, Helmand River, and Kabul River. So Kabul River is named after Kabul, the capital of Afghanistan. And mountain ranges Hindu Kush and Pamir Mountains. Hindu Kush, as you know, and Pamir Mountains are here. Okay. Minerals are coal, iron, and copper. So this is all about Afghanistan. Let's quickly go through the quick updates. There are 8 quick updates. The first is international maritime law, and the context is United States sinking Iranian ship. So now many have questioned the intent of the United States. Did the Iranian ship mean to hurt the United States? Was it a part of the active military, Iranian military? Okay, many things are in question. The most important thing why there are so many ambiguities is the lack of definition of war. There is no definition of war now, as was before 1945. Because war has no official definition, only armed conflict. And that too it is covered under Geneva Conventions. Okay. So a ship can only be attacked under 3 conditions. There are certain principles that have to be followed, and these 3 principles are necessity. It is only necessary, or it becomes necessary, when two countries are in armed conflict and a particular vessel or the target poses some imminent risk or threat. If there is no imminent threat, you cannot target that particular vessel. Similarly, civilian areas or civilian establishments cannot be targeted. Just like United States, Israel was condemned for killing so many school children, because you cannot target hospitals and schools. Not allowed. Civilian establishments cannot be schools, okay? They cannot be targeted. Just like this attack on Afghanistan hospital in which 500 people were killed, 400 people were killed, and that is why Afghanistan is the place in the news. Similarly, Israel had attacked an Iranian school. So civilian casualties should be minimized. It should be zero. Your target should only be military targets. That is why necessity is only if a particular entity poses risk or threat, you can target it. And proportionality. For example, if there is a patrol vessel and it has entered into your territorial waters, you cannot throw missiles. That is disproportionate. The patrol vessels may have 2-3 people and you really don't know whether they are harmful or innocent or malicious, okay? So it has to be proportional. If somebody attacks and kills 1,000 of your soldiers, then the attack can be proportional, okay? You can also hit their military targets. Third is distinction, which is actually of prime importance. Whether the target is military or civilian. Military or civilian. You cannot target civilian infrastructure. Not allowed to, okay? And there is only one law, United Nations law on the Convention of the Seas, which governs maritime security. And it also does not have any clear stand as to what should have been done. So there are many gray areas, okay? There are many gray areas when it comes to international, not just war in general, but also maritime security. Maritime security, especially during armed conflicts. This is the only law that is there in place, and it came into being in 1982. Okay. And International Maritime Organization is the overseeing body, which is a United Nation special agency based in London. Okay. So that's it. Nothing new. We have been covering this news for the last 2 weeks. Traditional Indian art forms like Varli, Gond and Bhil painting. So these are tribal arts, and they are in the news because recently a tribal art fest was held. I think for a period of week, just 3-4 days ago. And these paintings are very important from the point of view of prelims art and culture. And maybe tribal art as a theme can be a theme for your mains question in GS paper 1. Varli paintings, so Varlis are tribes situated in the outskirts of Mumbai in Maharashtra. Some are found in Rajasthan, Gujarat also. And Varli paintings have been GI tagged. The paintings are very simple in nature and they depict your daily life events starting from marriages, okay, normal interaction between people. Daily life events are covered and very simple techniques are used in tribal arts, okay. But they're dying due to modern art. So we need to promote them. So they're artisans, they can be paid. We can give them livelihood opportunities, okay. That is the most important thing that the government can do is by providing GI tag. Varli paintings are GI tagged, and that happened in 2014. Then Gond paintings, Gond are actually, again, tribal groups, tribal communities based in central India, primarily in Madhya Pradesh. So their art is actually called dot and line art form. If a UPSC question is asked, dot and line art form is famous among which of the following tribal communities? You can simply mark Gond. Their painting or art form is also GI tagged. It was done in 2023. The third one, Bhil paintings, not yet GI tagged. It's very important for those students whose optional is anthropology. Bhils are the largest tribal groups in India. Again, they are found in central India and also in Maharashtra, Rajasthan and Chhattisgarh. Okay, their tribal, this Bhil paintings, they are not GI tagged yet. I'm sorry. 9 new species in the Meghamalai Wildlife Sanctuary. You don't need to remember or memorize the names of the 9 new species, but Meghamalai Wildlife sanctuary is important. And many times it has been asked in the past also, that this wildlife sanctuary forms a part of which of the following biosphere reserves, or is falls in which state. Okay, Megamalai Wildlife Sanctuary is actually situated in Tamil Nadu, Thene district of Tamil Nadu. Okay, Thene district is one of the 10 to 12 districts in Tamil Nadu which form the part of the Western Ghats, and many endemic species are found there. Okay, all these 9 species have been discovered there. Yeah, Thene district. 977 faunal species, that means animal forms, are found in Megamalai Wildlife Sanctuary, and 511 of them are vertebrates. Total sanctuaries in India, this is an additional piece of information, 573, and Andaman and Nicobar Islands have the highest number of wildlife sanctuaries, 97. And Maharashtra is the Indian state which has the highest number of wildlife sanctuaries, which is 48. But more than twice that are located in Andaman and Nicobar Islands. Okay. And what about national parks? There are 107 national parks. And I think Madhya Pradesh has the highest number of national parks, 11. Okay. These are few essential facts from the point of view of prelims. Dimethyl ether, please remember this name. Just like you have natural gas methane and CH4 methane, C4H10 butane. This is for your natural gas, be it liquefied natural gas or compressed natural gas, and this is for your LPG. Now because of this ongoing Middle East crisis, we're finding it difficult to import gas and oil. So an alternative fuel has been suggested by the Council for Scientific and Industrial Research, CSIR, which is dimethyl ether, and its chemical formula is CH3OCH3. Okay, so ether, because of this ether group which is O, and it is a much better alternative because it is cleaner in nature as compared to these two fuels. Okay, but we have not yet commercialized it. It has been proposed at the lab level. It has been produced. Okay, so if a question is asked related to dimethyl ether, it is a potential medicine, active pharmaceutical ingredient, vaccine, or what? It is actually a cleaner source of fuel. It is also a hydrocarbon because it has carbon and it has hydrogen. And of course, not just clean technology, cleaner form of fuel, but also it will lessen India's dependence upon imports. Another theme related to art and culture. So Gajapati kingdom, which ruled over Odisha during the 15th-16th century, and their capital was Cuttack, present-day Cuttack. That time it was called Cuttack. Its inscriptions have been found in a temple in Guntur, Andhra Pradesh. So this is not surprising at all, because in those days we didn't have political boundaries. Okay, there was no Odisha, there was no Andhra, there was no Madras presidency also. So there was free flow or free movement of people, and kings and emperors, they had overlapping territories. So that is why Gajapati rulers, they were actually mostly based in southern Odisha. Gajapati is also the name of a district in Odisha, but the center was central Odisha, Cuttack. That was the seat of the power. And it was founded by dynasty Kapilendra Dev. This much you need to memorize or remember, because UPSC has asked such questions. Dynasties and founders, pair-based questions. Okay. And the extent of the empire was West Bengal, southern West Bengal to Tamil Nadu, Tiruchirappalli. Okay. Sahitya Academy Award, which is given for literary achievements and across 24 different languages. I am just telling you the facts which are important from the point of view of UPSC prelims. Mains mein nobody is going to ask you a question about Sahitya Academy. Okay, what are the 24 languages? All the 22 constitutional languages plus English plus Rajasthani. Okay, it was instituted in the year 1954. It comes under Ministry of Culture, Art and Culture. Sorry, Ministry of Culture. And 24 major languages recognized, given by the Sahitya Academy, that is the National Academy of Letters. And recently it was given to 24 different authors. In English language, it was Navtesh Sarna, former ambassador to the United States, and Mamta Kalia in Hindi. Okay, so you need not memorize the names of all the 24 authors. Okay, this much is enough. Then your West Asian war plus summer heat, which can lead to double inflation shock. Why? Because West Asian war is already taking a toll on India's fuel imports, starting from LPG, crude oil, and everything. Crude oil has been managed because we are importing oil from Russia, but for gas we depend upon the Middle East. Okay, so एक तो हो गया खाना पकाने का price, fuel price. Now we have this new season, I mean the next season coming. We have already made inroad into summer season. So because of the high temperature and climate change, India's food production will also be impacted. So yield will come down. That is why food prices will experience this uptrend. That means the inflation will be both due to the West Asian crisis, fuel crisis plus food crisis. And you know, as we go for more and more imports, the current account deficit, which is part of the balance of payment, it rises. And it will lead to the further weakening of the Indian rupee, because we'll need more foreign currency to import food and fuel sources. Okay, so that will lead to the depreciation of Indian rupee. Now, just for your some additional piece of information, India's largest oil supplier, Russia, again it's Russia, in February 2026, after this United States waiver, again Russia has been our largest supplier, followed by other countries like Saudi Arabia, UAE. Now to you simply forget these nations because Strait of Hormuz is not there anymore, which is under Iranian control. And India's largest LPG supplier, last year it was Qatar, UAE. Okay. Economic impact, as I said, rising CAD, current account deficit, which can further weaken Indian rupee, and also it will lead to a depletion of India's forex. Forex basically क्या है? The storehouse of foreign currencies. So you will be using more and more foreign currencies from forex to meet your import demands. The last one I think is Operation Sankalp. So Operation Sankalp, again the context is the Middle East crisis, but Operation Sankalp has been in force since 2019. Okay, and this ensures the maritime security of the Indian vessels. All the Indian ships of commercial importance that pass through the Arabian Sea are supported or protected under Operation Sankalp. It escorts merchant vessels in Gulf of Oman, liquefied petroleum gas carrier Shivalik. It arrived at Mundra Port. Mundra Port is in Gujarat, India's largest commercial port, which is managed by Adani Ports. Okay, so Operation Sankalp, if this question is asked, related to some peace mission or maybe carrying of troops or people, no. The answer is it's about India's maritime security. Okay, making sure that all the ships of commercial interest are passing safely in the Arabian Sea. Okay, so that's it. That's all about today's news today. So you can make the most of Vision IAS digital current affairs to enrich your knowledge. And now 6 questions will appear on the screen. Do take them. Wish you all the very best.